Okay, welcome back. I'm HG3. This is the Passiflora Championship round of 64. We have game 2 between Mante XD and Sigma 8D. Mante XD taking game 1 with his Ethne Asyngram deck. Asyngram finishing off the Northern Realms player in 3 rounds. Moving into game 2, of course, this format allows for side decking, so it's very possible that the Northern Realms player is going to try and eliminate some of the bronze units perhaps so that they're not as vulnerable to removal. Replace them with maybe some spells. Not quite sure how most Northern Realms Ratavids are going to be working their sideboards. Not sure if Mante made any adjustments either. It seems like everything went pretty well for him in game 1. So we'll keep an eye out to see if there's any noticeable difference in game 2. He could have probably opted out of these Hulker supports knowing that there is removal on this Ratavid side of the deck, but it looks like he's stuck with them. He has removal ready for the Reaver Hunter, but right now the proper way to play against Reaver Hunter is to wait until the timer ticks 1 turn to send him to the grave, because timers will reset in the grave. So you force out an additional play, whereas allowing him to early medic means that he doesn't have to dip deeper into his hand right away. So you get to see more if you wait the 1 extra turn. Not very likely that he'll be put out of removal range, and it looks like Mante doesn't opt for the removal either. Plays Last Wish, finds a couple cards he's interested in. Bork's going to come down on the board. Bork's timing is very interesting here. It's going to sync with the arrival of the 3rd Reaver Hunter, but he gets smacked out of play by Ratavid. And that's exactly what I was talking about last game. Ratavid has a lot of value in these non-mirror matches where Bork is 9 strength, where Ciri is... well, he has value against Ciri regardless, really, but Bork especially against a non-Northern Realms opponent. Wow, really good pull from that Elven Archer. Stumbleford's Tremor will remove just about half of the board from Sigma 8D. Here comes Priscilla. Again, Priscilla seeking through the deck and adding a card to Sigma's hand.
Have strength, my love.
Blue Stripes Commando allowing the Merc to pull out a Lacerate, which will clear the ranged row of the last remaining Reaver Hunter. So now the grave is pretty stacked for Sigma 8D if he wants to start medic training out. Looks like instead of using field medics, he's going to opt to bring out Naneka. Naneka into Sheila, into the removal of the Merc is a solid play. Making sure that Merc won't be replayed any more times this turn at the very least. And Mante's hand is not looking too great right now. He could play Kieran to try and buy this round, or he could do it with Ciri. Both are similar plays, but I think Kieran is the better play because 8 gold strength next round is going to be a little more powerful for him. But he's going to have to go down a card again. We saw this happen last game. Going down a card wasn't too bad, and last game Sigma at least had Ciri on the board to deter Mante from making the winning play and going down 2. It didn't work out for Sigma in the end, but it did help him in round 2 kind of ease the damage. But this turn, there's no Ciri on the board for Sigma, so if Mante took that exchange in game 1, he is definitely going to take it in game 2. And there goes Kieran down to win the round 8-7. Sigma once again trying to climb out of a hole. The problem with going down 1 round to Scoia'tael that feature Asyngram is that Asyngram round 3 is so hard to compete with. Scoia'tael are so good at gaining card advantage through a Glyce in combination with Ithne's ability. It's going to be quite the challenge to try and combat that. The field medic reses the Reaver Hunter. Unfortunately, Reaver Hunter has already summoned all of his compatriots, so I don't think he'll be pulling anything out of the deck. Down goes Prince Dennis from the Scoia'tael player, and he'll be joined by another 7 on the front row in the form of a Blue Stripes Commando. So Igni would get value here. Sigma, having already played a game against Mante, not seeing the Igni, not too concerned about stacking those. But a Glyce will come out and pull out the White Frost yet again, which will take away all the strength off the board of Sigma. And perhaps this is the moment where Sigma is reflecting on his deck and wondering if he should have played Henselt, so he at least has some safety for these units. But I'm not sure we were expecting too many weather decks. This is definitely a variation of the control Square from Mante. He's included a lot of silver weathers, it seems,
Sure. Be glad to.
where removal would otherwise be placed. Working well for him thus far. Shani's going to res NECA into Prince Stennis. A nice little chain play there. Stennis into weather, not too big of a detriment. Allows him to get some card advantage back in his favor. 4-4. Ithni's going to replay Aglyce. Aglyce probably going to decoy the Stennis. It's going to go back for the third time back and forth across the board. And this is where the Scoia'tael players can really get under your skin, as we see Sabrina get played into the weather here.
You stand before royal majesty.
The choice of an Elven Merc versus a mystery card. We'll take the Merc. The Merc also represents an opportunity to get another spell into play for Asingram, who's in hand. Miraculously, Asingram and Siri are here. He hasn't even played Siri yet this round.
What do you want?
Nice chain res coming out from Sigma. At least he's getting bodies onto the board. Looks like Mante will be contemplating a lacerate here. 27 to 8. We don't know how many spells he has in his graveyard, but he has got to be considering playing out his whole hand here, because if he drops down the Siri, he's at 16. Lacerate's going to take at least 6 off the board, maybe a little less. Takes 5 off with that Lacerate. So he's really close with only 2 cards left in Sigma 8D's hand. Sigma can be in trouble here. Oh, an Igni for no removal value. That's a tough play to have to make, but he understands the gravity of the situation against the Asingram Igni, and Sigma just has to hope that Asingram isn't there, but he is there, and this very well could be it for our first match of the day. He just has to have 5 spells in the grave, and we already know he plays Last Wish. He played at least 1 Lacerate, a Tremors, and Decoy. Oh, he has way more than 5. And that's going to be it for round 1. It looks like Mante XD is going to take down Sigma 8D and advance to round 2 in the tournament once he decides how he wants to do it. Since the weather's down, I think he has to throw the Lacerate first. He has 7 spells in the grave, so that's 14 strength normally, plus the 6 from Asingram. But if he only gets 7 on top of the 6, it's still enough to win the round. So it really doesn't matter his order of play here. I think he wins it regardless, into whether or not. And we'll see that play out right now. 37 to 24. Round 2. So Mante takes the 2-0 against Sigma. And we will move on to our next match of the day, which will feature a different player. So stay tuned as I get that ready. And hope you're enjoying this so far. I am HG3, and this is the Passiflora Championship VOD Replay Cast.